Dramatization.
After a car wreck, you may have to fight with a highly trained insurance company rep whose job is to knock your damaged claim down and out. It's a bad idea to enter the ring alone against a trained boxer, and it could be a bad idea to fight against a big insurance company by yourself. When the bell rings, attorney Dennis Sperling will be there to fight for your rights. If you've been seriously injured in a car wreck, call me, attorney Dennis Sperling, at 866-529-2444. That's 866-529-2444.
Dramatization.
Bad drivers cause car wrecks. Not paying attention to the road, operating electronic devices, and drinking while driving can lead to serious injuries. If you've been the victim of a bad driver, a trial lawyer may be able to help you recover money to pay your medical bills, reimburse you for lost wages, and compensate you for the pain caused by your injuries. If you, your friends, or family have been injured in a car wreck, contact me, attorney Dennis Sperling, toll free, 866-529-2444. I'm here to help.
Hi, my name is Dennis Sperling. I'm not a lawyer, but my daddy is.
Yeah, if you've been hurt in a car accident, call my daddy.
No need to scream and yell like a little kid.
Yeah, no yelling.
My daddy will fight for your rights.
Yeah, fight for your rights.
If you've been involved in a car accident, call my daddy, attorney Dennis Sperling.
Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Sperling. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
Hi, my name is Stephanie, and these are my two adorable and handsome sons. And that is my ex-husband, attorney Dennis Sperling. He practices personal injury law and will be more than happy to help you with claims arising from automobile accidents. He doesn't get paid unless you get paid. And as we first wives know, the more our ex-husbands get paid, the more we get paid. So let me help him help you. Call Mr. Sperling at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
You understand what I'm saying? Hate me all you want to, baby. I don't mind hating me. Hate all you can. Let me go the other way. Hate all you can. Hate everything. But I'm gonna still make you look good. Black men winning. Okay? Come on, somebody type that in the chat room. Black men winning. Okay? Because that's just what's happening. We are winning.
We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. We winning. Yeah. We winning. We winning. I know they hating out here. Yeah. I know they mad. They all in their feelings. But baby, I don't care. She calling the police on me and everything. Yeah. Somebody need to get on the phone, call my attorney. Dealing with these hard-headed hoes who ain't learning. They acting all ignorant like a motherfucking menace. She better bundle up, cause bitches about to be winner. Niggas acting timid, why you think she treat a nigga so bad? Turn her only fucking son into a killer. Can't even distinguish who the women, who the bitches. She broke my nigga, even Jesus can't fix it. Navajo nigga, got a man up in prison, but quick to tell you, get your bag up, bitch, quit it. Ever heard of Dennis? Yes sir, get your spurling, we in court early, don't be acting all girly. Keep that same energy, don't need any men. You the man, you the father, you the face of many men. Yep, Minnie Rippleton, taking L's your whole life, while the passport bros taking Jumping off the next flight, something thick, something feminine. Rubbing on my shoulders, be a cold day in hell. Blizzard King try to tell you, a new world is coming, bitch, you better stop sinning. See, God took Kevin, left your sorry ass with Dennis.
Somebody type of old broad in the chat room. Talking about men, you can't find them. That just means you had your chance, boo. You had your chance, and your chance has passed you by. Husband done went on to the great beyond. He's not there looking for you no more. You done hit one wall. Somebody type one wall in the chat room. You done hit two walls. Somebody say 3 walls. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Man, this is Uncle D, also known as the Blizzard King. I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. Big shout out to everybody in the chat room. Big shout out to everybody over on the Blizzard King channel. We are doing a simulcast right now. Who we got up in here, man? We got my man Wrench Turn. I saw a couple of folks over here. Who else we got? Man, Broken Blade, all my guys teaching, all the guys that's been here for a minute. We've been in it to win it, man. We've been doing this a minute. First, let me just say welcome. My name is Dennis Sperling, also known as Uncle D, the Blizzard King. I'd like to thank everybody for coming through. We're going to have a very interesting broadcast tonight. Hopefully, it will pique your interest, make you think about a couple things. Here's the thing. Some of you all may notice that my main channel is big shout out to Deacon Salty Balls. Some of you all may notice that my main channel, I've taken the, well, what I'd like for you guys to do is, I would like for you to understand that when Cash App pays me, I get 100% of my money. If you make a payment through Super Chat or these sort of things, YouTube/Google takes a 30-70 split. They take 30%, I get 70%. Now, I've been experimenting with this for a while, and what I've noticed is it works, but I'm still missing you guys who are finding more convenient to send Super Chat. Fine, that's cool. I can relate. I understand that. And also, it presents you with an opportunity to send a message that you can read online. I truly am doing this because the good brother Deacon Salty Balls, I haven't been able to get some of those good messages that he's been, those good words from the book of these hoes that he's that we used to get all the time, and I want to be able to read them online. So those of you guys, I'm still going to keep this channel as it is, the main channel, but my Blizzard King channel, where this thing is, this simulcast is going on also, you can go there. All you got to do is click the link at the top of the box right now. Go join that channel and watch it from over there. And then you can do your super chats from there. But in the meantime, those of you guys who are here, the Cash App, of course, is preferable. But again, I would love to be able to read you all's messages. So I want to make sure we present everybody with the opportunity to interact, because that's what makes YouTube fun. It's interactive television. It's what separates us from the mainstream TV. You know, I know I'm one of you guys. I'm the late night guy, apparently. And, you know, I'm Uncle D. I'm the one you call up when you really want the truth, you know, because I'm going to tell you. But either way, there's the Cash App. You guys can contribute that. At a certain point in the broadcast, I'll pass the, I'll let you know it's time to pay me for my time if you feel as though you've picked up something to learn something. So there's Cash App, there's PayPal. And again, I don't have to split my money with YouTube or Google, which is something I would prefer not to do. Because remember, if I'm working 30 days and they get a 30% cut, basically it's like me working 30 days and they get $9, 9 days worth of my pay, which that just ain't gonna be cool. You see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I want everybody to have the opportunity to contribute through the super chat, so you can leave your messages and whatnot. So shout out to Deacon Salty Balls, the good Salty Balls who put that on my mind. We tried to work with it doing PayPal, but I think we'll see how that works. But nevertheless, make sure you're looking out for co-parenting with the Sperlings. Look, somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. Somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. Somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. Come on, let's see it happen. Somebody type Passport Bros in the chat room. I want to see Passport Bros type in the chat room. Come on, let's see it. Let's see that happen. Okay. All right. Cool. So I'm taking this episode of Co-Parenting with the Sperlings. I take my sons to the Dominican Republic. And I take them to some of the same places that the fellas like to hang out. But of course, they're little kids, so we're not doing what the boys do. They're doing scuba diving. They're going to the dolphin, like a SeaWorld there. We're going down to Santo Domingo. They're seeing the slave quarters. They're meeting my lawyer who's down there. They're learning about my overseas company. They're having a great time with dad overseas. I'm teaching my sons that there's other places for them to go other than the Matrix. I really hope that you guys watch this week's episode of Co-Parenting with the Sperlings right here. I think it's touching. I think it's moving. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's really different. I literally pay for the camera crew and the sound people to fly all the way to the DR with me and follow me and my boys around on that summer vacation that we take every summer. I think it's dope, man. And I really hope you guys really enjoy what I'm doing with Co-Parenting with the Sperlings. I think it's a wonderful show. Big shout out to my man Wrench Turner for being the first up. Oh, my man Deacon Salty Balls with the $50 super cash app. Thank you so much. And you guys over here on the if you're on the Blizzard King channel, hit the #1 button. If you're on the Blizzard King channel, hit the #1 button. There's membership over there. There's all kind of stuff going on over there. It's a smaller channel, but I want you guys to have all the rights and privileges that everybody else had. So big shout out to the folks, the diehards on the Blizzard King channel. And you'll notice there's a lot more content over there than here. Okay. And the reason I did that is because, it's going to have a little bit different. This channel, the main channel is going to do take a little slight detour. But shout out to everybody on the Blizzard King channel. We got 31 people over there watching. The other thing is, if you'd like to do a one-on-one consultation with me, simply email me at sperlingdennis@gmail.com. There's a lot we can talk about, whether it's traveling, whether it's helping you escape a bad marriage. Let me know. I can tell you a whole lot of stories that'll help you out tremendously before you get that lawyer in front of you. Also, if you'd like to buy a paperback copy of my books, you can email me at sperlingdennis@gmail.com. So that, let's just get that out the way off top. I'm going to have to remind you to do that. Y'all got me to buy all these books. Now I'm sitting up on all these books and y'all ain't buying no more. It seems like the only time y'all want to buy the books is when I got like 10 left. That ain't right. But either way, tonight, somebody type tonight in the chat room. Somebody say Somali brick pirate in the chat room. Somebody say Somali brick pirate in the chat room, because that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, baby. We are going to be talking about this young lady, and my goodness, I'm telling you guys, the whole thing was a farce. The whole situation was a farce. What am I talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even have this story has been worn out. You got people all overseas complaining about how black men don't protect black women and all these sort of things. And now come to find out, the Somali brick pirate was all cap. Somebody typed all cap in the chat room. That's your young brother's term. Cap, right? She was capping. All cap, man. All cap. So, basically, this young lady, come to find out, her statement about being hit with a brick for not giving a man her phone number, right? That was his motivation. She said a man hit her when she was leaving the club, apparently talking to somebody, and some guy hit her with a brick. Huh? Hit her with a brick for not giving a phone number? That made all of us say, that don't sound like us, right? Now, some people are dwelling on the fact that, this, that, and the other, well, blah, 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 we should believe it. Yeah, I'm kind of focused on the fact that nothing gets you paid faster in this society that we live in than the victimhood hustle. Isn't that right? Because everybody sees themselves in these victims. Because we're trained to be victims. We're trained, oh my God, if I don't win first place, then I'm a victim. And therefore we have to have what? Some sort of participation trophy. Because we don't want anybody to be a victim. The idea of what is and what is not a victim has become big business. It's crazy. Everybody's a victim. Everybody's a victim. You can't put your penis or vagina where you want to do. You can't cut it do it. Then you're a victim. You're being oppressed. Isn't that something? Just think about that. It's getting wild. Nevertheless, old girl was lying. So here's the story. She came and she had a mask on. She went to a party with a mask on. I mean, a full ski mask. And for those of you guys who don't know, it's like 100 degrees. It was like 105 degrees outside here in Texas, in Houston, at like 6 o'clock in the evening. 105 degrees, or 95 degrees, but it felt like 105. This woman went to a club or whatever party, and she had a mask on. Now, some people are saying she was wearing the mask because her face was swollen from having saline injected into it. Others were saying it's because she had an allergic reaction. Either way, it wasn't a brick that was the problem, okay? That's the bottom line, okay? She then decided that she was going to capitalize on this condition. And so she came up with the cockamamie story to tell people that some man hit her with a brick. So after the club let out, after she was finished, she took her mask off, ran into the middle of a group of men, alleging that a man hit her with a brick, filming herself the whole time, right? And then blaming the men who were present for letting the other man get away with it. This is it. You guys remember this, right? Subsequent to that, she started a GoFundMe account. Last time I checked, she had over $40,000. Somebody type 40K. Somebody type 40K. She had 40K laid away, right? Because she got hit with a brick the other day. Little did we know she was pay for play. All I got to do is say, all caps, stay away. Bars. Anyway, so people really believe that. Shout out to all the suckers and simps who believe this lovely lady. Shout out to all the suckers and simps who believe this lady. You deserve what you got. The truth is, she never got hit with a brick. It was a trick. Okay? She never got hit with a brick. It was a trick. She had an allergic reaction, or she had an injection of saline, right? But whatever it was, she decided to use it to create content and profit off this victimhood hustle. Somebody type victimhood hustle in the chat room. And we see it happening all the time. You see women alleging that they were touched inappropriately, or some man did something inappropriately to them, and they do what? They get paid for it. You see that it happened with Bill Cosby all the time, even if they weren't a victim. If an incident happened, they'll turn themselves into a victim. That's why a simple act of having sex with a woman 20 years ago can lead you to having to pay a big settlement. I'm just saying. See, here's the thing we have. Here's the sinister part that I want you guys to understand. She knew how much these lovely ladies hate the brothers. Okay? Irrespective of the fact that there were no cuts, no bruises on her face, no blood, just a swollen face, she knew that all she had to do was make the allegation and people were going to run with it. Just the same way it happens now. All the woman has to do is allege that a black man did something to her, and the press will run with it. We see it happening all the time. Here's the other thing. We knew if the incident just happened, we knew swelling, it don't swell up like that. We knew that. I told you guys the other day, I said there's more to this story. She came to the scene with a mask on, took it off once it was time for the lights and camera to come on. And she played all these suckers and simps. Here's the cold part about it. She literally did the same thing back in 2020. In fact, this is about the third time she done ran this scam out of her playbook. Now, I'm going to say this before I get started. This is going to hurt innocent women who get themselves or are forced in a bad situation. This is going to hurt innocent women, especially black women who already have a hard time being believed. Somebody type Carly Russell in the chat room. Somebody type Carly Russell in the chat room. Carly Russell and her hustle. You understand? Carly Russell and her hustle is right there with the Somali brick pirate. These women are going to make it hard for black women to be believed. Now we're not going to believe that they've been done wrong. Big shout out to Deacon Salted Balls. He said, Artesian 4-1. For thine, hold on. For thine Artesian built a mosaic from disfigured one. For he smitted or smited her with a brick. She exhibited a level of beauty for better than her days past. Each brick was crafted to build the wall, the undefeated wall of ages. Big shout out to Deacon Salty Balls over there at the Blizzard King page. Y'all, look, it's stuff that's going to air on the Blizzard King page that you guys aren't going to see here. Y'all need to go over there and make sure you subscribe. All you got to do is hit the link at the top of the chat box in here and go check it out over there, man. But let's continue. As they used to say, as the preachers say, let's continue right here. So, you know, a lot of you women, you need to speak up and make sure this woman's deeds go punished, because you're going to be the one that suffers. Here's something else that I find interesting. She was hanging around people of her culture, but she didn't say some Somali man hit me. She didn't say some foreign man hit me. She didn't say some black immigrant, even though the allegations were this was some sort of Somalian or Haitian man. No, she said black. Because if she had said Somali, we would have been like, oh, that's your culture. But she said black with the inference being black American. She didn't say black men. She said black men in general. So we went with that. Not a Somali man. And then you got fools out here who say, why would she lie about something that serious? That's what they do. Somebody type, that's what they do in the chat room. You suckers and simps are the only ones. Look, let me tell you something. Big shout out to Deacon Salty Bob. My Uncle Slim said, don't trust a woman don't trust them as far as you can throw them. You can't just believe that. I believe the Holy Quran says a woman needs at least another person to testify, because they're subject to their emotions. We see women lie all the time. I know you got, oh, that's sexist. I know. But look at what's happening. Now, there was another gentleman who jumped in it. You know, the guy who stepped forward and said he saw the whole argument, he saw the situation happen and saw the woman hit him with a brick. She said this is another Somali dude. So you got a Somali woman and a Somali man. And look, shout out to all my folks from the Horn of Africa. I'm just pointing out the facts at this point. It needs to be talked about. This dude came along and co-signed the whole story, saying he saw her berating him and all this sort of stuff, and made people actually kind of say, well, maybe it did happen. Then come to find out, the owner looked at his videotape and said there was no evidence of anybody getting hit with anything. And then the Somalian guy's girlfriend came out and said, no, that was not true. You see? And there's some allegations. This is her ex-boyfriend. In other words, Brick Pirate and the dude that got on and co-signed with her, they're saying that might be the ex-boyfriend. So what you're looking at, worst case scenario, is a coordinated effort to hustle Black Americans out of their money and time. Okay? So what does that say? It says a lot. It says you got a lot of ebony immigrants in America using ebony skin to cosplay as American Black people and cause trouble and division. Somebody type division in the chat room. We got enough issues. We got enough issues without our immigrant brothers and sisters coming over here pretending to be us, making things worse. Now, here's the cold part about it. Listen. This Brick Pirate, she only told these lovely ladies what they wanted to hear anyway. That brothers are violent and don't protect these lovely ladies, don't protect Black women. And the thing that we know that everybody else knows is there's always a presumption of guilt. Somebody type presumption of guilt in the chat room. There's always a presumption of guilt when the accused is a Black man. And all the other issues that we have stem from that. Whether it's deadbeat daddy, whether it's he stole my TV, whether he's a bad child at school, it all stems from the fact that both Black men and Black boys are deemed to be guilty as charged. There's a presumption there. And everybody knows it. Somebody type, everybody knows it. This Brick Pirate, somebody type Brick Pirate in the chat room. This Brick Pirate used the hate that our lovely ladies have for brothers as a tool to trick and grift money out of them. And it really shows how much our own women truly hate us and how much victimization and manipulation can be used as a tactic. This is what I see. See, this is going to have a lasting effect. See, next time you say, yeah, man, she lying on me, brother, somebody might actually believe you. Between Carly Russell and the white baby savior and the Brick Pirate from Somalia, somebody may actually start saying, you know what? You know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I ain't going for it. See, here's another thing, man, and we got to examine why was it that these lovely ladies were so quick to believe her? And as I said before, it's because of the hatred that they have for brothers. And it's not just a hatred, it's a resentment that goes on there. And let me explain something to you. And I did this 2 or 3 years ago, but let me do it again. And I'm going to give you a biological assessment. So you're going to learn something. I want y'all to kick back and learn something. Somebody type learn something in the chat room. Somebody type learn something in the chat room. You as Black men, white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, white women, Asian, Hispanic, everybody. There's a social hierarchy in every society that we live in. And for the most part, Black men are not at the highest point of the social hierarchy. White men are. Why? How do I know? Because in this society, they hold the positions of power for the most part. They are the richest men in this society. They're the most, this is their country. This is their world. This is what they rule. Look, black men had 80,000 years to rule. The white man has had the last 550. It's his time. And so the rest of the women of the world look at him as though he's the prize. He is the alpha male. Now, of course, there's some exceptions. Of course, that don't mean you can't get a fine woman. That doesn't mean you can't get and of course, there's some white dudes that are losers too. But then just like that, you got some white men, black men who are winners. And women will make exceptions for that. But for the most part, all around, white men are at they are at the apex of the totem pole. They're at the high point. They have a higher social market or social status than black men. And so women look at them as the alpha male. They look at them as the prize, which is why black women and women of all other races are willing to set aside a lot of issues that white dudes have because they want that social status associated with having a white man, period. Okay? So when you when a black woman looks at you, she looks at you as a consolation prize. You know, it's like being on The Price is Right and you got that $10,000 prize and then you lose that. You don't get that, so you end up going home with a stove and a refrigerator. That's you. You the consolation prize, brothers. And so there's a lot of resentment because black women feel as though if my man had a higher social status, then me being with him would increase my social status. And so because you can't increase their social status in this society, you get treated so poorly. Now, this doesn't apply in non-Western countries because white men don't typically run those countries. If you go places like Jamaica and some places in Africa, you know, where black men dominate, then the men who are to be looked up to in that society are black men. So the women look at them like, well, you know, my man he's rich. Color's not the issue. Money is. Other things are. Type of job, employment, where you live. But here in the society that we live in that's so racialized, white men are looked at, you know, as having a higher social status. So when your black woman looks at you and she realizes you can't give her the social status that a white woman gets, guess what? She hates you. She resents you. You see, somebody said white womanhood. Basically, you can't give her white womanhood the status that white women have. And so because of that, she resents you and therefore she hates you. Look at how female wolves treat beta males. They want to damn near kill them. And they're angry with them. They resent them. They want that white man. This is the key to it. You see? They're angry with you. They have resentment towards you. And this is what you're dealing with. You see? This is what it's just that's why, look, nothing gets the juices going like blaming Jermaine. They're really mad because you can't increase their social status. If black men were able to flip a switch and become the men who are highest on the totem pole, you wouldn't have these issues that we have out of black women. But because they see you as lower ranked, socially speaking, and that brings their rank down, that makes them angry. I want you to do some Googling. All these black children who are deleted, baby deletions inside the womb. These are not white men's children that they're deleting. These are black men's children that black women are deleting. They're not deleting no half white, light-skinned babies, are they? No, they're not, are they? Not at all. They having those babies because they see them as having a higher social status. I'm not saying that's across the board. I'm just saying if you look at it, it's the black men. They don't want to have your children. They resent you. They're angry. And of course, we got some good sisters, but this is those who are still living on that animalistic level, right? Who don't see the person for who they are, but they see the man for what the man can do for them. That's why you got to stay away from these women who are purely in it for the bag, okay? So just think about that. But the other thing I want you guys to notice, you notice how he hit a black woman, the calling card. Notice it's almost like a war cry. And it's reminiscent of what we saw during Jim Crow and when something happened to a white woman. the mob would rally, right? And go after the black man. You notice that? Huh? You want to scare people into voting for you? Tell them black men are going to invade their neighborhood or take advantage of them. George H.W. Bush ran a commercial and beat Dukakis, a person he was running against, by running a commercial about a guy named, I forget the name, Willie something or another, a man who got out of prison and committed another crime after he was let out by Dukakis. And he won the vote because of that. It's a scam. It's always been a scam. But now, instead of just being used by folks who are, racially challenged, we'll say, now it's being used by immigrants who just got to this country. Willie Horton, that was his name. Somebody look up Willie Horton. I mean, these women have taken on the spirit of Carolyn Bryant Dunham. That's the lady who lied about Emmett Till. This is who we're dealing with now. And you need to think about that. But let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all do what you do. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. Go ahead and subscribe to the channels now if you haven't already. I will be right back. Y'all check this out. Welcome back to the broadcast. In case you guys don't know what we're talking about tonight, we're talking about this, we're talking about a brick pirate, but specifically, I want to get on the subjects. And so we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and that is these suckers and simps who gave $42K to this lying Somali lady. All right. Now, there's also a lot of men who facilitated it. Okay. So I want you guys, listen to me, brothers. Take note of the simps and suckers who were leading the charge, because it shows you how many simps are out there. They literally refuse to think and question anything this woman says, as opposed, they just reacted to it. And it confirmed their bias and hatred towards black men. I'm talking about black men. I'm talking about black men leading the charge. And it's the same situation with that woman who got the Kane Chronicles, who got whooped up on in Harlem. Come to find out, she took that man's cane, and he was the cripple. Same situation with Carly Russell from last month, talking about she was trying to find a white baby. that was on the side of the road, and reality is she laid up somewhere with somebody she shouldn't have been with. Why is it so easy to have your emotional chain pulled? How foolish do you look now? Because see, look, let me tell you something. I came out the box saying, nah, I'm going to pump my brakes. Why? Because my queen mother goddess simp chip has been deactivated, right? We ain't spoke about that in a long time. My queen mother goddess simp chip has been deactivated. Some of y'all think that means I hate black women. No, I see women with the same eyes that the rest of the men around the world see women with. See, I am normal. I see women for the human beings that they are. I don't put women up on a pedestal. That goes against what my God teaches me. I don't put anybody up above criminality or sin. You basically worship these women when they can do no wrong. And when you your knee-jerk response is, oh, she's got to be telling the truth. Even though the story is obviously, it's got holes in it. You just go with it. And here's the crazy part about it. These gentlemen, these simps, don't even have enough human decency to apologize for creating a volatile situation for black men. You just help reinforce the negative stereotypes that black men are violent. And that news went out to the whole world. A black man hit a black woman with a brick for not giving him her phone number. That went out to all the police stations, all the policemen, all these people who always have negative things to say about black men. And coming out of your mouth as a black man, it confirms, it must be true. Not only are black women saying this about black men are saying it about each other. How can we take these type of men seriously? When you've demonstrated that you're quick to go with these stereotypes and spread them around the earth without even getting the full story. Think about that. Think about how dangerous these simps are. That's why thinking black men, you got to separate yourself from these people because they're dangerous. That's right. They spread the big black brute stereotype before they even heard it. Think about this. This woman flat out lied and they just ran with it. There's no truth to the story at all. It was a setup from the get-go. It's the third time she's run this play. A flat out lie. And these simps, these suckers and simps went with it. Even if they didn't donate any money themselves, they created a climate where black men look violent and this woman looked like a victim. And she was a straight up lie. They took it as credible. This Somali brick pirate exploited the division between brothers and these lovely ladies. More specifically, the hate that these lovely ladies have for brothers. They exploited the same hate directed towards black men that this society has always exploited. This is the new con. It's an old con, but it's the new con. Brothers have been used so much in this society as tools of fear to trick people out of their money and their vote and their political support. For centuries, we've been the black boogeyman. And now we've been, and the lovely ladies picked it up. Our own black American women picked it up. And they've been using it as a reason to, oh, I need to get out this house. This man he's mean to me. He's doing these mean things to me. DV. So I need a welfare check, a restraining order. I need custody of the children. He's a deadbeat dad. Victimization. Black women have done it so long and so well. Now you have women of other races doing it who aren't even from this country. Brothers, you got to get your passports. You got to go. You got to go. You got to get up out of here. This ain't safe. And let me say something else that we learned. Big shout out to the good sister Crimson Cure. She said this, and I'm going to paraphrase it. The glue that binds the gynocracy together is a hatred for black men. The glue that holds that team of people together, the gynocracy together, is a hatred for black men. Their sole existence is hating on you. In other words, if you leave, they'll turn on each other. The nerve of some of these reformed simps, these simps and reformed pookies riding on the wrong side with these lovely ladies. As men, we need to make sure that we silence and speak out and yell down and yell at these lies that are being perpetrated by us. And let me say something else. All you brothers who are straddling the fence, either you at this point, either you supporting the liars and the troublemakers, or you supporting the brothers who are speaking honesty into the world about our reputation. The amount of simps and black misandrists online going at innocent black men last week, it was terrible. The environment that was created. Now, here's something else I want y'all to think about. Now that we know the truth is out, notice how when it happened, everybody had smoke for brothers. Oh, you black men need to get it together. Notice that? And we was like, damn, yeah, if it's true, that's terrible. You notice that when brothers get called out for their bad behavior, we're expected to take the criticism and make changes. We don't try to blame other people for, no, we need to make changes. And the lovely ladies have been trashing black men for the past 50 or 60 years or more. We've been dealing with it. Now, by contrast, because see, last week it was all on the brothers. We were the ones that fought for this woman getting hit upside the head with a brick. We need to check our brother. We was like, yeah. But now, come to find out, this is a lying broad. And so what are we hearing now? Now the narrative is, brothers and sisters need to do better. Huh? Isn't that right? Why is it that when black females are called out on their BS and their bad behavior, the narrative is black men and black women need to do better? But when it's just when some black men do, we have to take it. Why is that? Have you noticed that? And why do we accept that? Why is it that we allow them to not accept responsibility or take accountability for this toxic culture and this bad behavior that is spreading? All these women need to apologize. They need to apologize. There's no getting around that. You need to apologize. But they won't. You see, if nothing else, last week exposed just how badly these women resent black men and hate black men. And you can't go back from that. And that's why so many black men have checked out. They don't want the headache. They don't want to deal with someone that hates them. They're not doing it. They're not doing that anymore. Now, the crazy part is, now check this out. Now, in addition to not accepting responsibility, now they've moved the goalpost. Somebody type move the goalpost. What do you mean? They moved the goalpost. Come to find out she was a fraud and a scammer. Now they're saying it doesn't matter if it was a hoax or not because the sentiment was true. Ain't that cold? It doesn't matter if it was a hoax or not because the sentiment was true. Ain't that crazy? It doesn't matter that you endangered all these men and destroyed the reputation of all these men, all this group of men, because its sentiment is still true. Y'all still don't protect black women. Let me say this, man. I feel bad. I feel bad for the ladies who are getting lumped in with these worthless women. I feel bad for you. There's going to be a percentage of good women who are going to suffer the consequences for not speaking out or setting themselves apart. I've been saying it for a while now. You need to speak up. You need to speak up and set yourself apart. But here's the cold part about it, fellas. And borrowing a word from the good sister Crimson Cure, these hyenas are too dangerous to be kept in check. They're too dangerous. So what's going to happen? I don't see anything but the society being torn up. That's what I see. And that's cold-blooded. And this is where we are. And this is what we're talking about tonight. There's a lot in there. There's a lot to discuss here. And I've done my part. And if you too feel like I've done my part, if you've learned something, Willie Horton, you learned that this is nothing new, that people have always used the fear of the big bad black man to play victim and get what they want. This Somali brick pirate is not the first one. And she's not going to be the last. But the mere fact that people from overseas, what appears to be a Somali woman and a Somali man, got together and contrived this plan to make black men look bad and make $40-some thousand from it, it lets you know it pays. And we all know if the hustle pays, guess what? There are going to be more people lined up to do it. So fellas, buckle up and hold on, because more is on the way. You suckers and simps, you black men out there who stood in front of this lie, as it folded behind you, you out there now. You've exposed yourself. We see you. That's nothing more than hate for black men. You don't love black women. You hate black men. And if you're a black man, that means you hate yourself and what you stand for. That's what that tells me. And you brothers need to take notes. Get your little pen and paper out. Hit the number 1 button if you can hear me. Get your little pen and paper out. And take notes of all these black men that are quick to hate on other black men. I don't care if they say they pro-black or whatever they are. If they jumped in front of that lie before they knew what the truth was, and they haven't apologized, that lets you know they meant what they said. They hate you anyway. Y'all think about that. But in the meantime, if you've learned something, if you appreciate what I've done, if
if the message in here somewhere has taught you something, then pay me for my time. Those of you who want to use Super Chat, go to the Blizzard King channel. Go over to the Blizzard King channel, click in and Super Chat. I'll read your messages. But for the rest of you, the Cash App is right there. And we're going to need some more Cash Apps. You want me to come back? We're looking for another 15 Cash Apps, and I'll be back. In the meantime, until you do, hallelujah. Until you do, and that is pay me for my time, you're going to be with Jesus.
body blood, me say.
I'll be alright.
I'll be alright.
When I make
it happy, I'll be alright.
I'm gonna
Pull up my low wire rope.
so gonna
Sorry, ground.
when I make
it to heaven.
Right, Sharon.
When I make it to heaven.
When I
make it to heaven.
say that
I'll be alright.
I wanna go to
Heaven.
I want
Oh, heaven.
I wanna go to
Heaven.
I wanna
Oh, heaven.
where the streets up there
Heaven.
are paved with gold.
Heaven.
I wanna go to
Heaven.
I want
Oh, heaven.
I wanna feast on milk,
Heaven.
milk and honey.
Heaven.
I wanna find my truck,
Heaven.
my truck.
Oh, heaven.
When I make it to
Heaven.
make it to heaven.
Heaven.
When I
Y'all better sing,
Heaven.
make it to
Oh, heaven.
I'm gonna
Put on my low wire rope.
Say, cornbread.
My low wire rope.
When I make it to heaven,
Put on my low wire rope.
I'm gonna
Put on my low wire rope.
and then
I walk down low.
Yes, sir.
I walk down low. I walk down low. I walk down low. Oh, walk down low.
Come on, cornbread.
Down low. Walk down low.
Y'all better come on.
See,
yeah,
a KG.
you got to let
Lord,
King
a KG.
just let me
See,
Oh, yeah. Come on here.
KG.
just let me
Come on, helper.
I made it.
What she feel like it?
Made it.
Come on, helper. You better sing. Oh,
I made it. I made it.
over the rock.
I made it.
I'll be alright.
I'll be.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. We still need about another 4 cash apps, and we need about another 3 super chats. But other than that, man, I want to get back to the broadcast. I want to open this thing up and get you guys in. But before we do that, I want to make sure I read off everything. Let me go ahead and put the link to the chat in. I know y'all got a lot to say about this, and maybe I missed some stuff. This is an important conversation, and the reason it's important is because now the hate for black men has been exported, right, and then brought back. Anytime you got other people exploiting the fact that, you know, what other group of women on this planet talks this bad about their own people? Yeah, I mean, that's just something I want y'all to consider. But in the meantime, look, come on in, join the conversation if you want to. I'd love to hear what you ladies have to say about this, because here's the thing, and this is one topic I didn't discuss, but I want to discuss it. How do we put this young lady in jail? Because it looks to me like what you have there is larceny and conversion and theft and fraud. And I'm pretty sure that that's a crime here in the great state of Texas where this woman allegedly lives. So how do we put this in? Somebody put somebody going to jail in the chat room. Somebody going to jail in the chat room. Now, the link is in the chat. The link to get in this thing is in the chat room. Okay. The link to get up in here is in chat. Wire fraud. Big shout out to Salty Balls. But before, let me read this. Big shout out to the Blizzard King. I'm the first one to contribute to me. Deacon Salty Balls, I'll read this again. Artesian 4-1 for thine. Artesian built a mosaic from a disfigured one. For her smited her, she smited her with the brick, and she exhibited a level of beauty for better than her days. Past each brick was crafted to build the wall, the undefeated wall of the ages. Praise Moses. Shout out to Salty Balls again. He said, Brixie hustle. Yes, sir. Mercer Panama, thank you so much for this $3 super sticker. Who else we got? Jared Braggs, thank you. Say 23 has exposed black. Summer 23 has exposed black women from Loud in Dubai. Yeah, I forgot about that. Carly Hustle, Megan Pete, Brickzilla. Brickzilla. Somebody type Brickzilla in the chat room. Someone needs to make a highlighted video. Somebody does. Shout out to thank you so much, Jared Braggs. My man Salty Ball said, thine imbecile 2-1. Hence thine heathen was so consumed in her madness and disdain for the righteous and a sovereign authority of thine brethren bestowed with melanin. Praise Moses. Hallelujah. Somebody type praise Moses in the chat room. Deacon Salty Balls, he said, imbecile 2-2. She stoned herself. she stoned herself into the imbecile stupidity. Naked in the public square for her forked tongue lies, she retreated in a slither back into the cloak of infinite darkness. Hallelujah. Good stuff, man. We need 3 more cash, 3 more super chats. Man, I love it. I missed that. Big shout out to my man Ron. I'm going to say big shout out to Mr. Patterson, Mr. Williams. Thank you, New Hope family. Thank you, Mr. Felix. Thank you, Just from My 2 Cents. Mr. Harris, Mr. D. Rock. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jerry Williams. Thank you, MC Harris. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. Thank you, Alvin Holden. Of course, thank you, Mr. Turner. And also thank you, Mr. Deacon Salty Balls, for contributing on this side too. But here's the thing, family. We going to take a quick break, but we're going to have a nice little musical break. I got a special selection. I got a special selection for the fellas up in here, man. You guys have seen it. Y'all know which one this is, man. But it's necessary, man. Shout out to all the simps. We'll be right back. All these simps running around here, running amok. All these son husbands. It ain't just these single mothers' faults. Happy wife? No. Happy life. Y'all heard that before. That's the most simplest thing you can hear said.
Yeah. Welcome to Simp University. That's right. We got an all-star lineup. Yeah. We got Dr. Simp Jackson on the drums. Or Johnson. Yeah. We got Dr. Boogity Boyce Watkins on the tambourines. We got Derek, the Janky Jack Jackson singing back up. And this is the Simp Academy, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. So he gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. She just want that money anyway. He don't care, he don't give a fuck, he gon' pay. That's it. Shake it for a simp, shake it for a simp. Worth the pimp C, I walk with a limp. This is for the donation niggas who got food. Been a decade running and still no school and no class. You keep asking for more cash. Academy growing, pucker up and kiss ass. These doctor, imposter, homie, you check the roster. Black women panda, sounds like you a scammer. Yeah. We lace them up like them Chuck Tenners. We don't love these hoes, they screaming fuck Dennis. We holding court, ain't no love in it. Rather be the judge in it. Justice from you fuck niggas. Check game. Your mama gave you niggas all a simp chip. Now you simping A1 game, all on this simp shit. High degree having nigga talking this trick shit. What you gonna be teaching at that school, nigga? Pimp shit? This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Simp. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. This is for the simps at the academies. Listen to your mama pray. Fuck what your daddy say. Yeah. Nigga, you a simp. Yeah. My nigga, you a simp. Yeah. Shake it for a simp. 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 She just want that money anyway. She just want it. He don't give a fuck. He gon' pay. He gon' pay it, baby. Shake it for a simp. 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 She just want that money anyway. He don't care. He don't give a fuck. He gon' pay. You niggas is soft as Wonder Bread, baby. You worse than King Kong trying to save mayonnaise minute. Sippin' is like Kool-Aid, and you niggas add extra sugar. Cause you sippin' niggas never had that booger. How can a rotten bitch raise a forgotten trick that turned into a switch hitter? You more concerned with alphabets and crayon colors. I'm not that nigga, and I'm definitely not that brother. So when the kingdom falls, and the she-heathen no longer pick up your call, and when we leave you simps swinging from these salty balls, best believe I got my attorney named Dennis Sperling on speed dial. And in the meanwhile, while simping ain't in my pimping, do not shake shit for me, baby. But you can shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp. Shake it for him. Shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp. Shake it, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want that money. He don't give a fuck. He gon' pay. He gon' pay it, baby. Now shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp. Shake it, shake it. Shake it for a simp. Shake it for a simp. Shake it, shake it. She just want that money anyway. She just want the brain. He don't give a fuck. He gon' pay. Yeah.
Shout out to my man Big Bass Life, man. Big shout out to you, man. Great music. Big shout out to everybody who's contributed to the Cash App and the Super Chats, man. Shout out to my man Torrin Jones. Lock her up. Somebody type lock her up in the chat room. Somebody type lock her up in the chat room. That's what we need to be talking about. Lock her up in the chat room. Big shout out to my man Ron. I think he came through late. We still need 5 more cash apps to get this thing complete. But in the meantime, Sigma Black Ronin, always good to have you in here, brother. So I know you're familiar with this story. Okay. Now here's the thing. Let me get a little theme music going on. And anybody who wants to join in the chat, you want to join in, you're welcome to come in. We're gonna chop it up about this conversation for a minute. Let me tell you, man, there's already, let me get my trap music playing. There's already enough division between Black Americans and immigrant Blacks who are coming to this country.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? The last thing we need is for some woman from Somalia to come in and say, a Black man hit me. And then, the first thing that she said, it made everybody think it was a man from Haiti that hit her. Okay. Then we said, no, it had to be a Somalian guy that hit her. Come to find out it was no guy that hit her. And she was simply capitalizing on the hate and resentment that Black American women have for Black men and played a victim role. And now she got $42,000. As a brother who can trace your heritage to Haiti as an immigrant brother, immigrants like this, man, what is your thought about immigrants like this who are coming over starting trouble? Basically, they cosplayed Black American, stirred up a bunch of mess. What are your thoughts on that, brother? Go ahead.
Well, as an American Haitian, born and raised, I got second generations popping up right now in my family. It irritates me. It irritates me because it brings me back to the 90s again here in the Northeast. The Northeast, our relationship among Black American, Afro-Americans and Haitians and American Haitians were terrible at schools. It was like how Afro-Americans had beef with Mexicans. It was on that level. My cousin got shot in the leg. Someone's an Afro-American woman, because of her son doing something to a Haitian girl, she got her house on fire. It was bad. And in the early 90s, it reached the peace gang. It wasn't even like gang level. It was like faction level.
Okay.
In the Northeast, New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey was, from what I've learned later on, it was worse than what we had here in Queens. And then somewhere around the late 90s, I'm not saying it all went away, but it was just things got smoothed out. Things got smoothed out. And
well, let me give you some historical context about migration and immigration to this country. It was in the 1980s that blacks start coming to the United States from Africa and a lot of other countries. And so I could imagine that the early 1980s with that influx of black people, black people from Haiti, Jamaica, and all these, there's always been blacks who are from other places in this country, but they really start coming in the 1980s. That's when the National Black Caucus loosened up the restrictive immigration laws that were keeping black people from coming to this country, and it allowed more Africans and people of African descent to come to the United States. So I can see how after about 10 years of getting to know each other, things would simmer down. Because, when you bring one group of people into a place where there's already another group of people, there's going to be conflict. But see, here's the thing. This is a different kind of problem. Because now, as opposed to blending in, this Somali woman is going to give Somalis the reputation for being scammers and going to these great lengths. And if what we think is true, that this young man who we thought was a witness was actually a co-signer to that, it's going to make it even worse. So, I just find it troubling, to say the least. I find it troubling. And if I were an immigrant black, I wouldn't want this. She would definitely be chastised. What are your thoughts? Go ahead, bro.
It enrages me because it feels like all the push forward, the solidarity, because I have ADOS in my family.
Right.
Married just here. Got 3 marriages. ADOS men into American Haitian families.
Right.
From one in Boston, another one in Florida, and I think another one again in New Jersey. So to me, I look at that as progress. So when I see something like this happening, it makes me feel like all that has been washed away.
What do you think
I know
about?
It's not, but maybe I'm being hyperbole.
No, I mean, I can see that. What do you think about the fact that there were so many online personalities, so many actors, so many people who jumped the gun and came to this woman's aid and helped gin up what was apparently a lie? In other words, before they even knew the truth, they were quick to jump on the bandwagon and says, here's another black man being abusive. What are your thoughts on that? Like, as far as those men, what is your message to those men? Go ahead.
This energy has been around before me and you have been alive. The books I've read, my mentor, Mr. Chamberlain, Eidos Man, who was my mentor, gave me books to read, and these were nonfiction, but the writing felt so real. I forgot the name of the book. I'm going to look for it and give it to you. But it was about a young man who was dealing with, attempted sexual assault by other Eidos men.
Let's not say those words. I don't want to get demonetized.
Okay. I'll say violation, and how his father, who he loved dearly, tried to abandon him, and also his friends turned on him. It was a crazy book. It was a really crazy book. But then I saw elements of that, and then I saw the movie Antoine Fisher, and so many other things. And it's just, I'm seeing it. I see the spirit in those guys that's doing that. I see the spirit. I see the agenda. They believe that they're seeking validation by the destruction of other black men. You get what I mean? They're trying to get pat on the head by the women of the community by destruction of, it doesn't matter if they're innocent.
Why is it that black men are so quick to throw other black men under the bus? That's the other thing we got to deal with, because we always direct it outward and say these women are, doing this. But the women in our community would have no effect on us if the black men would stick together and say, hold on, sweetheart, pump your brakes. We don't have all the facts in. We're not just going to throw another black man under the bus. If we would stand together in solidarity, we would have a lot more power and influence. But there seems to be so many black men who are quick to break ranks because, as you said, they want a pat on the head, from the misandrous. What are your thoughts on that?
Watching one of my homeboys grow up, we split it because of something like this. We separated our friend. We broke our friendship off because of that. And because I saw someone looking for validation, and then when I kind of look into his pathology, he wasn't hugged a lot. He wasn't validated by his mama a lot. He was just a no good from her mouth, no good N-word. So it's kind of the reverse of how some sisters look for the thugs to be their man, and they look for father figures in that. They're looking in the flip side, through the toxicity for the love of a mama.
Okay.
And so they're looking for that validation. They're looking for that nurturing that says, oh, you did good. You did good. And I think that's how they do. They feel like, if I destroy this guy, good or bad, right or wrong, I'm going to get nourishment, spiritual nourishment from these random women who are just really, in a sense, using him for his brawn and his image as a male to attack this subsective group or this idea that just happened that we just saw play out.
All right, let's take a quick break. But when we come back, here's the thing I want to talk about. When we come back, the question is, do you guys think that this young woman, we're gonna call her the brick pirate, do you think the brick pirate should be locked up? Somebody, if you think she should be locked up, hit the number 1 button. If you don't think she should be locked up, hit the number 2 button. But we'll be right back.
There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skinned, huh? There you go. I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skinned, huh?
Buttons. Welcome back to my man Sigma Black Ronin. So the question that I asked everybody is whether or not they thought this lovely lady, this brick pirate should be locked up. So far, I have a unanimous one. I got one guy, Tristan Turner, said lock her ass. So yeah, I think it's pretty unanimous. So the thing is, that's what the people think should happen. I've seen it happen before when you swindle a charity, so it's not unheard of. What are your thoughts on that, man? Go ahead. What are your thoughts on that?
She should have been locked up yesterday. She should have been locked up yesterday for the first two. So to find out, one, I'm gonna sound cold-blooded. When I heard that it was an Haitian dude that possibly did it, I was proud. I was kind of proud because these chicks be running around here. A couple years ago, an old man got stabbed by 4 women in the subway train. An old man trying to stop a fight, he got killed. So ever since then, I've been a little bit. My Queen Mother Goddess simp ship has been fried. has been fried.
Let me say this. I don't want to see anybody get hit with a brick. I don't want to see anybody get hit with any sort of dangerous weapons like that. I mean, I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad she was lying. It's unfortunate she was lying. It'll be a sorry day to hear that some dude hit some woman in the head with a brick because he wouldn't give her little funky phone number. I mean, you know, it's enough loose cooch out there and that you definitely don't need to hit a woman in the head for any of it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
But,
being the case, it's also unfortunate that she lied because it's done so much damage, especially to the reputation of black men. And you know the word is about a lie. A lie will be halfway around the world before the truth gets out the gate. And that's basically just what we saw happen. And so there needs to be some sort of punishment for that, because otherwise it's just going to repeat. You're going to have more Carly Russells. You're going to have more of this, you know, Somali ladies trying to come up off of making brothers look bad. You know, I wish we had some more lawyers in here, because I tell you what I think it was. Looks like conversion. That's a civil crime. Also larceny. What are your thoughts on that? Go ahead, brother.
Maybe because I'm losing my civility with some of these things, because I'm starting to see a pattern pop up in society where these women are using the system, using the image of the boogeyman, which is us black men, for come up. And I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, until we really do something. I mean, really do something, and set a pattern, or our own pattern of this is what happens when you keep doing this to us.
Yeah, somebody's got to go to jail. Big shout out to the Hope family. Thank you so much, Felix, Jerry Williams, Mr. Patterson, Ron, GC. Big shout out to Mr. Giles and Mr. Booker. Thank you guys so much for the cash apps. So yeah, I mean, but damn, you know,
you got to go to jail, man. You got to go to jail.
Yeah, I mean, we would think so. Here's the thing, man. I'm not going to belabor the point. I think I've made the point on this thing. You and I have talked about it. There's not much more to say. Here's my closing, okay? And I want you guys to hear me out on this. This couldn't happen in a society where people weren't already prone to believe that black men are violent. It also couldn't have happened if black men hadn't jumped on the bandwagon and decided to go along to get along with the lovely ladies. I probably was one of the only black men who, the day we found out it happened, said, hold on, pump your brakes. Let's get all the facts in before we jump to a conclusion. When I look back at the videos, there wasn't a whole lot of other guys saying that. And the reason being is because my natural proclivity is to fall on the side of men when I don't know. Let me explain to you what that means. If I don't know all the facts, my natural inclination is to say, hold on, what's the perspective of men? As a man, that's what I should do. It's no different than if you're a cat and there's a bunch of dogs on the other side of the fence. You side with the cats before you side with the dogs. That should be your natural inclination. Unfortunately, we got a lot of brainwashed black male simps with their queen mother goddess simp chip fully activated, working at 110%, that they fall for it every time. And they're weaponized. Their sympatry, somebody can spell that in the chat room if you will, their sympatry is used against all of us. And we need to talk to those men. We need to have some honest, forthright conversations with those men about all the simping that they're doing. Because at this point, it's become dangerous. At this point, these women are weaponizing their victimhood, and these simps co-signing with it. It's making this a dangerous environment for black men. Because see, there's somebody that got the message that this black woman was hit in the head with a brick by some black man for not giving the phone number. But they didn't get the message that it was all fabricated. So they're left with the understanding that this black man somewhere in Houston, somewhere in America, hit this woman in the head with a brick. And that makes all of us look bad.
And that's something that we need to understand. You don't walk away from your reputation, fellas. And now it's getting worse. It was one thing when you had politicians like George H.W. Bush putting videos up of what was his name? Willie, I forget his name, Willie, whoever his name was, Willie, Willie Horton, scaring the population into voting for him. It was another thing when white women back in the day would say, oh, a black man did something to me, and they burned the whole town down. Or you had the situation where Emmett Till, white woman, he looked at me funny, and you got black men getting lit. But now we got women who are black, and we knew black women have been making this up. They've been doing it for years. They've always gone to the government and gone and told people, this black man ain't this black man. They tell our own children that your daddy's a deadbeat daddy. Come to find out the woman ran him away. And the truth is coming out. But now we got a whole nother tentacle to deal with. We got black women from overseas capitalizing on the fact that black American women have so much hate and resentment for black American men because we can't give them that white womanhood that they want, that now they're capitalizing on it. And it's just causing more division. So I just want y'all to think about this conversation. I think the simps out there, I think you gentlemen who jumped on this bandwagon, who jumped the gun without knowing the facts, I think you're gonna have some real repercussions from this because men are taking notes. They're seeing, hey, we can't trust this guy's judgment. If we can't trust this guy's judgment on this, we can't trust him on anything else. And it undermines all of us because you're still black. So just think about that. Slow down, fellas. Just because a woman comes out and says she was RAPE'd, or she comes out and says she was a DV'd, or she says that the father's a deadbeat dad, or she was assaulted, that doesn't necessarily mean it's truth. Let's wait to get all the facts in before you start jumping to conclusion and downing other black men, especially when you know black men are always considered guilty, as accused. You're not helping, brothers. And I can't control what black women do. I can't control what these other people do. But I can, and I have a right, and I have standing to address you other black men. You guys are on the side of the adversary. You're against us. As a black man, your first love and dedication should be towards yourself and the other black men that stand next to you, especially knowing that we're under attack. Think about what I'm saying. You don't have to like it, but I'm talking about self-preservation. That's the first law of nature. You throwing us to the wolves is throwing yourself to the wolves. Keep that in mind. Nevertheless, big shout out to my man, Signal Black Ronin. Thank you, everybody who contributed to the Cash App. Thank you, everybody who contributed to the Super Chat. We still, you still got time. If you guys are over there on the, over on the Blizzard King channel, you can always do the Super Hearts. If you like this, you can always contribute to the Cash App when the broadcast goes off. We're going to keep it short and timely. I made my points. This is a message to the simps out there. Listen to what I'm saying. Look, there's an old saying, like you say may be your own. Because, brother, you're going to be the next one that gets falsely accused of something. This environment that you're helping create by stirring up this mess, even when it's a lie, you're helping save your own life or the lives of your sons or your nephews or your fathers. Keep that in mind, right? And for you women out there, when you see women like this who are lying and you know they're lying, don't co-sign with them. You know she's lying talking about her child father ain't no good. You know she's lying because you were there the whole time. They're lying on their father saying, my daddy did this to me when I was a little girl. They lying. And you know it. They're making up stuff. That's not happening like that. Tell the truth. They say a black woman is murked every 8 minutes in the black community. That's a lie. You know it's a lie. And we continue proving it a lie. That's what we do here. You have to protect yourselves, brother. Somebody type protect yourself in the chat room. Brothers, talk about protect yourselves in the chat room. You are your brother's keeper. And when we as black men begin to present a solid front, everybody else will fall in line, including black women. We'll get a whole lot more respect from black women when we begin to fall in line and treat each other with the respect and dignity that we should. Because they're not going to treat you any better than you treat yourselves.
And it starts with how you treat yourself and how you treat your fellow black man. Other than that, man, you suckers and simps, y'all gave this woman 42K. She lied, looked stupid. Other than that, that's on you. And I'm out.